Today, I'm in the woodyard, Pickaroons, or what are they called?
Hookaroons.
Hookaroons.
Or Sappies.
Or Sappies. Tony knows everything. That's what's happening today, coming up right now. So today I'm with Tony and we're gonna talk Pickaroons. He's got a few, I've got one, I've got another one on order, but we're gonna talk about why we got them, what we do with them, how they work, in case you haven't used them before. I haven't. This will be the first, well, second time I'm kind of talking about them, but yesterday was the first day that I used my new Pickaroon that I got from my brother, and I got another one on order, and I should have listened to all of you a very long time ago. They work great.
Save your back.
They work great. And I use it for things different than I thought I would use them for. You know, the reaching, the pulling stuff. We'll talk about that. So
That's
anyway,
exactly it.
So tell me about your Pickaroons. What was the first one you bought?
The first one that I bought was this Stihl Pickaroon, and I believe they're made for Stihl by Logrite. At least they look the same. The only thing I was a little disappointed was this unit, or this Pickaroon, came with this specific point, and it was not very, it would not pick logs up. It would move them, but not very good. When I saw Andrew from Easton Made use his, I saw that he had this curved tip on his, and it's much thinner. So I contacted Logrite, and they said, oh yeah, we no longer use these. We switched to this. So I ordered this part. You just have a pin that you replace. And now it really does stick in very good.
Right.
So then after that, you'll find that when you have one, two's even better for moving stuff, especially round logs. So I got the Husqvarna. And this particular unit right here has a very aggressive tip, a very nice, I don't know if it's forged or what type of head that is, but you have a flat face for a hammer and a very aggressive tip on here, and it just picks up logs extremely well, or moves stuff, which we'll do very shortly. After that, I got the Fiskars.
And how do you say that?
It's pronounced Fiskars, not Fiskars like a cute cat food.
And how do you know this?
I happen to retire from Fiskars.
There you go. He is an expert. And what did you do for Fiskars?
I was their sales manager.
Wow, see, so here you go. You're going to learn everything you want to know about Fiskars today.
Fiskars.
So you picked this one up after the other ones, and why was that?
The reason this was the last one is that Fiskars didn't bring them into the U.S. In Europe, they've had these tools for many years, but in the U.S., they didn't come in until about 5 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
And do you know why that was?
I don't.
You have no idea?
I don't. They didn't think that there was much of a timber market here.
Because we don't cut trees here.
Exactly. So, but it's made out of boron steel, and when you look at this, it might be very thin, but it is extremely strong. And you've got notches in here, so it if you're on hard ground or gravel or whatever,
it digs in a little.
It digs in a little. And the tip is very aggressive as well. And you'll find that throughout the years, these operate differently. In the wintertime, not as good as in the summertime, spring or fall.
Sure, because you have frozen wood.
Exactly, yeah.
Frozen wood doesn't operate too well.
No, the nice thing about the Fiskars is the handle.
Right, just like the X27 or and what are all the models? I mean, I'm sure you know a lot of them. There's a lot of them.
There's about six or seven different ones, and there may be more since I've retired. So, but it's a very light. Of all of them, this is by far the lightest, and a lot of people.
Right.
Joe's Firewood uses this one. I know several other people that I've seen also use this.
Yeah, it is light. It's very light.
And it's very, very comfortable.
And if you have a Fiskars axe or a hatchet, I did it again. You're gonna have to take my birthday away or something. The X27 I absolutely love. To me, it's like the best tool. If I had to pick one thing, whether it's splitting or hammering or chopping, If I can only pick one, that's what I would pick.
Yeah.
Because it'll do everything.
Without a doubt, the X27 is the flagship on the Fiskars axes.
Yeah.
More people know that axe than anything.
Right. Yeah. Everybody does, and they're very popular because they work.
Yep, that's it.
And what I like about the X27, a lot of you know this, obviously. You don't get tired when you're using it.
That's it.
A lot of splitting mauls, when you're using them, you know, the 8, 10 pounders.
Right. Oh, they wear you out.
You're only good for a short amount of time, and it's time to take a nap. So then yesterday I was splitting wood all day. I like 6 cords of wood yesterday, 5 cords of wood yesterday, and this is the one that my brother gave me as a gift. And there's no name brand on it, but it works really good, and I really like it. It's got a really, really sharp tip on it. It's lightweight. I got this, and about 2 days before I got this, before he gave it to me, I ordered one of these, a Husqvarna one. But that's not a problem because 2 is good.
2 is when you're rolling large pieces of wood, it's really
you can use 2 at a time by yourself, or if you're working with someone, you each have one to use. So what I found yesterday when I was using this, obviously I did reach out into a pile and I whacked, you know, into a log or a round and hooked it and pulled it towards me. I thought, oh, that works pretty good. And then the pieces that aren't super big, you can go into the end, and it's pretty easy, even with one hand, to lift it up onto the splitting table,
that's
pop it off, and I use it like that quite a bit. But then I found myself with bigger pieces, you can't do that because it's just too much to lift. But
it is.
One of the things that I like the most about it, as I was splitting, I was on this side of my splitter and you're on the other side, and I split a log and it fell off over the other side, and it's too far for me to reach over the top of the splitter, so I just went underneath the table, grabbed it, and I just yanked it over towards myself. So I reached under and pulled it. That right there saved me time and effort. It was easier because I used to crawl underneath the table to go get it.
That's it.
And now I don't have to. So, and I did notice when I was hooking the pieces from the pile and lifting them up on there, it's a lot less bending over. So again, you were all right. I should have got one long ago. But now I'm going to have 2 of them. So I did order the Husqvarna one, and it's supposed to be here, like, I guess in a week or 2. And it was like $49, $49 bucks, yeah. And then they had the short one.
Right.
And the short one was only like $39, but I really wanted the longer handle one because I want it more for reaching. So
well, you'll find that when you have these, it's a personal preference on how you like. Do you like metal? Do you like foam? Do you like a more slipperier? Or do you like the
traditional wood?
The traditional wood, yeah.
Yeah.
The Fiskar has this this end here that your thumb just goes right in here and it locks in.
Pinky.
Yeah.
Pinky.
Your thumb, yeah.
And that's one of the things I like most about the X27 is when you slide your hand down, it's right there.
Right,
you know,
it's a flared butt and it really holds
right,
well.
and this one is nice because it's got the padded foam, so your grip is easier on that. But I would imagine over a lot of time that's going to wear off.
And they do, I believe, make replacements.
Okay.
So.
And this one that I got, this non-brand one here, it has a real flair to it. It gets chunkier. So what's that? There's a name. Is this called a hilt? No. What's that called? There's a name for this.
Couldn't tell you.
The guy,
Killinger would know.
Chris Killinger.
That's it.
He'll put it in the comments.
That's it.
He'll be chewing me out. How come you don't know what that is? Because he knows this stuff. Yeah, I don't know all the axe parts. All I know is that I hit wood with them and the pieces get smaller. That's all I know.
Very simple.
Okay, so we were talking about the different materials. If you had to pick just one, what would you pick?
Right now, my go-to, I love them all. When I get tired, I like the Fiskars because it's so light. But my go-to is the Husqvarna. Even though I'm a Stihl kind of guy, this is the Husqvarna. Just really, I mean, it's just awesome when it digs in.
Yeah.
And there's no, regardless of whether it's oak with a rotted center or...
Yep, that is rotten in there, yeah.
That's box elder.
Box elder.
This is all of these.
That's some type of a locust. We weren't sure. We're thinking it's, what did I say?
Is,
honey locust.
Honey
I thought that might be.
Well,
and this is black locust.
Black locust.
Yeah. Yeah, it picks them up really nice.
It really does. And actually, when you work them, all of them do a very good job of lifting.
What I found yesterday, because I hadn't really used one before, is that there's technique to it. Just like when you swing an axe or a maul, there's technique, not just in how you do it, but the amount of
pressure
speed
necessary.
And pressure. Because if you go way too hard, then you're wiggling up and down, trying to get it out.
That's it.
You want to be able to sink into it, lift it, and real easily just kind of pop it out with that backstroke is what it is. That's what I would call it. I don't know what you call it, but
even small pieces. I don't know if I can grab one of these real quick, but
yeah.
And then these come
just
off.
Kind of give it a whack.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, if you were using both your hands, it would be easier too, because you got two of them there.
Trying to do that with wet wood, it's trying to do that.
That alone is going to keep my gloves drier longer.
Exactly, it will.
Yeah, that'll be nice. And if I get a piece in the wintertime that's frozen, when you have a piece frozen in a pile, that initial whack, does it free the ice from it?
Sometimes it does, but a lot of times frozen wood, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. I know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
All righty.
Okay, so yeah, those are all really nice. I wish I would have had one long ago, and I'm glad I got one now. So now on the Stihl one,
which Stihl is or Logrite, either one. That tip is very aggressive, and it does pick up very nicely.
Right.
And like I say, it's personal preference on what you want.
Yeah.
This one seems to come off a little easier.
As far as when you push back on your backstroke. Yeah, and that's probably why when you watch Andrew Easton Made from Easton Made,
he does the golf swing.
He does he does a golf swing, but then he picks it up and he pops it off real easily too.
And you can after
technique,
yeah.
After you get used to, and I think each one probably is going to have its own characteristics that you kind of know how each one works.
That's it.
Because you have the variety of them.
And if you use one consistently, you're going to know that technique and how much to put in.
Right.
And like yours, at first I thought it was, last time when I saw it and used it, I thought it was a little bit big. Yeah. But when I used it, it really worked nice.
Yeah, I thought so too.
It dug in real good. And I like the longer handle. That could be a benefit.
You mainly just like the pink.
Well, that's true. I know who it was.
Yeah, it does work well. I mean, that pops off pretty nice too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of whatever you get used to.
Well, that's
very cool.
If you were loading your truck, you put that in there, you could
pop it off once you get the technique.
When you get good.
And like you said too, each type of wood is different too.
Right.
So obviously your softwood, like your pines and
it goes in very quickly.
Yeah, you got to hold back your swing a little bit.
Exactly. And then when you do your oak, your elm,
locust,
yeah, those you got to really bear down.
Yeah. Interesting. So in the comments, let us know. What do you use? What do you like? Why did you get it? What have you tried? Let me know. That'll be interesting to see what brand you like or how often you use a pickaroon, if you use it.
And I'm sure we're missing some brands
here. I'm sure. There's tons of them, but we don't own everything. But we just thought we had a selection here and we thought we'd talk about them today. I thought it'd be something interesting because most of the time on a lot of the channels you watch, they have one tool that they're demonstrating, which is nice. But to have some comparisons is very interesting too.
Compare and contrast on all of these really makes a difference on what you choose. Assume we're in the middle of winter and we've got snow or it just rained and everything. I don't want to get my gloves wet. So I'm using my Hookaroon, Pickaroon, or Sappy, whatever you want to call it, and I just pull it down. If I wanted this one piece, I can bring it over. I can walk these, dog walk them down if I need to.
Yep, not really stick it in, but just kind of pull them to where you want, yeah.
And if I wanted something, if I wanted to bring it down,
yep.
And so it's indispensable for that.
Yeah, it's nice being able to move stuff around where you want it, when you want it, and not having the bending over is huge. Keeping your gloves dry is nice, and then rolling them to your location where you're going to be splitting. I could see where you get faster with it, that you just know exactly what side to go on, and you get more accustomed to the actual use of it.
These large pieces all here, I use the Hookaroon to get them into my trailer.
Yo, yeah, that makes sense. Thanks for watching, folks. Glad you could be here. It was nice. We had fun. Did you have fun?
I did.
Had fun. We're going to do it again tomorrow. We're going to have more fun in the wood tomorrow. Between now and tomorrow, get outside, do some cutting.
Good night, Irene.